Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate World of Light Run on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. And in this episode, we're continuing on after just arriving into Battlefield up against the Baldur support spirit, who is a giant Robin. And since we have Giant Killer, yeah, this fight is like really over quite quickly.
That's giant.
Yes, Robin, was like 50% bigger than he normally would be.
I mean, when you make a small object twice as big, it's still a small object.
I mean, Robin is usually only twice the size of Kirby, so...
Ready? Go!
Sealif is actually... I want to say that Sealif is another one of the spirits that you can actually start the game off with, but I don't really remember for certain, mostly because I think Sealif is one of the characters that actually gives you Sword Attack Plus. As such, it would behoove the game to not actually give you that kind of a steroid super early on. Yeah, Sword Attack Plus on him. He's another Fire Emblem character, so... And here is the primary gimmick for Battlefield. The forces of light and darkness are fighting each other as we're going through, so as we defeat minions on the light side, the dark side gains more powerful. If we defeat too many minions on the light side, then Dharkon is going to win, and that counts as a failure state for us. Our goal, whilst we're attempting to go through Battlefield very specifically, is to balance out the different light and dark agents that we're fighting, so that we can eventually take down a majority of Archon and Galeem's forces, and then specifically unlock the secret final boss, which is Galeem and Dharkon at the same time.
What I love about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's soundtrack is it a lot of times uses music not recreated or remixed or re-instrumentated, but like exactly from the game in which it comes from, because that's Sonic
it does that a
too.
lot. And honestly, a lot of the tracks they choose to do that with are quite good. It actually does have the 8-bit rendition of Green Greens somewhere in the damn track list. Hey, Yarn Poochie. This Yarn Poochie is actually from Yoshi's Woolly World, and ouch. As such, it is a character that I'm not all that familiar with. Like, the closest thing that I can recognize Yarn Poochie from, although I know he's from Yoshi's Woolly World, is actually the canine character from Pikmin 3. That said, yeah, I didn't actually play Pikmin 3, so... Like, the only Pikmin game that I've specifically actually played and beat all the way through is Pikmin 2, and I haven't actually gone for true ending in that, because I ended up disliking not the dungeon design specifically, but the difficulties of going through dungeons attempting to actually acquire everything. Specific dungeons in Pikmin 3 are just very, very cumbersome to go through. Starfy here, on the other hand, is actually a character of the female counterpart to, well, a very niche Nintendo Game Boy Advance IP. Starfy of the 7 Stars.
Well, Jigglypuff's the only star on this stage, and we're trying to upstage the Puff.
Sorry, Starly. Yeah. Starly is Starfy's girlfriend.
Don't you know that you are a shooting Starly?
Hey, Takumi. Takumi is also from Fire Emblem, but very specifically, this fight fucking blows without high wind resistance, because it starts immediately with strong wind, and you're up against 2 projectile spamming pits. So, yeah, bring wind immunity for this fight, please, for your own sake.
Right, because their projectiles are not affected by the wind.
They are not.
The only thing affected by wind is non-wind resistant characters.
Yeah. And that specifically is you, because they are also immune to wind. I kind of wish, to be perfectly honest, that we got to see strong wind as an obstacle that would at least sometimes affect our opponents. Because every time that it doesn't affect our opponents, it feels really cheap into forcing us to actually have strong wind immunity for it.
Well, it's like Bobby Fischer moving the king around a lot and still winning the chess game is your Super Smash Brothers teaches players how to fight opponents in pristine battle conditions. However, when these battle conditions are offset by stuff like the wind blowing around opponents away from positions they normally would be in, then you're going to be in a strange situation. The stranger the situation, the harder it is to use all that time practicing on opponents who are not getting blown around. Their positions are easier to predict, and on top of that, the AI is better at maneuvering around stage hazards like this.
I don't know if they're actually better at maneuvering around stage hazards, and to be perfectly honest, I honestly think that they would normally be worse than I am at it, but that's because I've got so much game time and practice with it. To be perfectly honest, I believe that the whole reason that they have a majority of the enemies have strong wind immunity, while strong wind is a stage obstacle, is specifically because the AI would end up trying to pursue you off the stage and then not be able to recover, because a good portion of the characters that they use during these strong wind matches usually don't have that good of recovery.
Right, but that's contingency planning. That's not the priority of the AI. The priority of the AI is just to try to battle you while they're on the platform. It doesn't enter into it like what would happen if they get knocked off and have to recover, even against stage hazards like heavy wind.
So we have bested Arceus. We are now the God King of the Pokemon universe. Waha.
Of course. The most powerful Pokemon ever is a Kirby.
I mean, there are circles that would argue that Ditto is the most powerful Pokemon specifically because of its ability to become any Pokemon. And Kirby can actually absorb Pokemon abilities through his through copy abilities.
So a Ditto of all trades is a Mewtwo at nothing.
Or is just sometimes a Mewtwo.
So, Ditto can copy moveless Pokemon types, but he cannot copy stats. Ditto
he does copy stats. The only
he
stat
does
he does
now.
Even classically, Ditto copied stats. The only stat that Ditto has never been able to copy is HP.
Okay, well, there you go. He copies not every aspect of the character, just a lot of them.
And he doesn't get full power points on the moves. Transform very specifically locks the power points of the moves that you get to 5.
Yeah, which is fine, because if you use 20 moves during a Pokemon match and nobody's been KO'd yet, what the hell are you doing?
I transformed into a Shuckle, Mr. Cloud. It was very sad.
What is Shuckle know again? No, I'm thinking of Wobbuffet. I'd say the most unfortunate transformation would probably be Wobbuffet. It was like, what a wasted opportunity. Smashing. Oh crap, we're dead.
No, we are not dead. This is a stamina match. Come on.
Do it, sister. She didn't do it, Mr. Gerda.
She did not, because it's a stamina match, so she couldn't. We threw a lightsaber at her. Jean is not honestly one of the more difficult ace spirits to deal with, mostly because of the fact that we've got a fully unlocked Soma. That said, as you're still fighting Bayonetta, and Bayonetta is one of the more powerful characters, it can catch you off guard just how powerful Bayonetta's smash attacks can be. So, bring someone agile, and you should be okay. Unfortunately for Nash, we've got Metal Killer, so him turning metal at some point in the fight just signs his death warrant for us.
And so he collapsed.
That's a reference to the fact that Nash is a zombie in Street Fighter lore.
Uh-oh, Mother Brain.
Hey, Mother Brain. Mother Brain is another enhanced spirit, actually. If you, after obtaining her and fully advancing her, she advances into a defensive style legend spirit with, I think, 2 support spots, and specifically, she naturally makes you giant. So it honestly is really fun to play with, but it's not one that I am going to be playing with because defensive primary alignment.
Only I have the brains to rule Zebus.
Or the Galactic Federation, as it were.
That brain's got spikes sticking out of it.
It does. Alright, so next we have the Garen fight. Florida's poisonous here, so I would recommend actually bringing a poison immunity for this fight, mostly because dealing with this fight without poison immunity actually becomes a bit of a hassle. That said, we didn't bring in poison immunity for this fight because I'm a bit overconfident in my ability to deal with Ganondorf, specifically because of even with jump power minus, I've got the ability to do short hops in order to do basic air combos against him. Kirby's forward air is extremely powerful while you are low to the ground.
Yeah, you were doing way better after you started jumping in order to get off the poison floor.
Mm-hmm.
No, and that's what these matches do, is just try to identify what is the main hazard. Once you've identified the main hazard, if at first you did not succeed in the match, then work on taking out that number one hazard. As long as you get rid of the likeliest cause of your death, then the others are not so likely and your consistency is going to improve.
Yep. Now, I'm not entirely sure why they decided to have 4 Greninjas be for the primary Octoling fight when we have Inkling as a character, but oh well.
Hey, look, man, there's like 200 individual matches in this game. Like, I'm sure that at some point they could have done some things better here or there. We forgive them though, because the assemblage of Snake.
So
I'm sorry, I just wasn't ready for that. Like, wait, this is Super Smash Brothers?
Come on, Snake has been in Super Smash Brothers since specifically Brawl. He was.
Who looks good?
He was a guest character. He was a guest character in Brawl.
Right. It's like, oh, this isn't Snake. This is Snake's cousin, who has all the same moves as Snake, except he doesn't make blue fire. He makes red fire. And his punch combos are slightly faster by 3 frames.
Hey, you make a joke, but three faster startup frames on an attack is absolutely massive in this game.
You're damn right it is. That's why you got to look up the frame data, baby. That's how you win games like this. I'm not looking up the frame data.
I'm just having other people explain it to me. It's much simpler that way.
Ah, so you prefer secondary sources instead of primary sources?
Yeah, mostly because I don't understand what the primary sources when I'm looking through them. So,
a primary source for you would be you would break down the very video that you're watching, and you would try to count how many frames of animation are in each and every move. It can be done. It's slower, but you might as well go to somebody who already did that.
Yeah. Hey, Dark Samus. I actually prefer playing with Dark Samus over normal Samus, specifically because Dark Samus is a bit floatier with her movement, and I think her energy and missile attacks hit slightly harder. That said, honestly, normal Samus is still probably better, especially if you're comfortable with the moveset. But yeah, I prefer Dark Samus over normal Samus.
Man, after seeing through all of the different unlockable characters, because there are, as long as we've been playing for Rocket Commentaries playthrough, there are still characters who we have not even seen in a match yet.
No, we've definitely seen Dark Samus before. It's just that I can't tell you where she was.
So I think that for the next Super Smash Bros. Game, it's great that we have this big compilation, because this game is more about the fan base than for the content that the fans go crazy for. Is just to acknowledge, we're all here because at some point each of these characters had touched our video game lives and experiences at some point. So here they are. But for the next Super Smash Bros. Game is let's just narrow down the counterparts a bit, please, so that there's only one Link, there's only one Samus, there's only one Mario. maybe, I don't know, take out a couple of the Pokemon. Let's make it just Pikachu and Jigglypuff again. Because, damn it, dude. Like, give a man 2 options, he'll feel like he chose the right one. Give a man 100 options, he never feels sure of himself.
Well, you're not supposed to feel sure of yourself when it comes to a mascot fighter.
The mascot.
And let me be very clear about this, Mr. Cloud. We're not gonna shrink our Pokemon roster. Not a fucking chance.
Okay, we'll keep Lucario and Greninja and all these guys because they look like Super Smash Brothers brawlers, but like I think we could do without Squirtle and Ivysaur and what's his name. Like, this is simplify a bit, you know? Less is more.
Kinda. The problem, of course, being is that Ivysaur is actually the best of the Pokemon in the game. So.
Oh, excuse. Well, how the fuck was I supposed to know that?
Through Battlefield.